Hello everyone, this is Johnny from BallBreakers Clan, bringing you another episode of Can I Become Competitive, brought to you by Miniclip and Ultimate Golf. Today I'm going to do a couple tournaments, mainly looking at the Fixed Gear tournament and the Golf Madness tournament. These are qualifiers, so don't really get the rewards for winning today, but would get us to the next level. We also have the Ultimate Pass tournament. This is the final round of that tournament. If you'd like to join along with us, you can look in the comments. You'll find a link to download the game, and underneath my name, you'll also see my friend code, and you can play along with me and play games with me. There are also, in the link in the description, other streamers and guides for information on how to learn how to play this game. Hey Ofer, thanks for the good luck. So let's start with this Fixed Gear tournament. Basically, this is a tournament where everybody has the same clubs. Last round, we had all level 4 clubs, pretty low clubs, closer to what I had, so it wasn't that much of a detriment to me. So this time, we're going to see what we have. So it's the Abu Dhabi Golf Club. It's a fairly tough course in general. A lot of bunkers right by the green, curves, and everything. So our driver is the best driver in the game. It's like starting off with the APOC 8 in Golf Clash. We have the Hellfire 7, which is one of the best woods in the game. The Pegasus 7. I don't know where this falls, but it's the Tier 7, Tour 7 Max Club. Hey John Bell, thanks for the good luck. We got the Rattler 7 and the Hive 7. So it looks like pretty much max clubs. So this should be interesting. So we have plenty of replays on this. So the first thing I'm going to do is see how far this club can drive the ball, because I haven't had any experience with this. So I'm just going to send it. If we don't get on the green, no problem, we'll hit a replay. So this, of course, is a little more accurate than our standard drivers. It's about the same as our woods, 7-1 or 70%. So let's see what I'd have to adjust in 10.8. 8.3. So first thing I'm going to do is an adjust, and then I'll push up. And we're just going to send it with a little bit of curl and see how far we can get it down. We do get ultimate shot, so we'll know how good our adjustment was as well. Pretty long drive, 335. If we had a tailwind, I think we would have gotten the green. So let's look at this Hive now. So there's our max club. So if we were adjusting this, they kind of play rapier rule in this game a lot, which is where you stretch out the shot, makes it a lot shorter. This would be about 60% club. So it's pretty close to 1-to-1 adjustment at 50%. So one of the keys to these types of tournaments is making sure you get a drop early. And so you can do the replays, and you get lots of replays and they're free. Since we haven't needed to use these clubs before, I saw that it rolled about 4 squares with the tailwind. So we're going to use one of our restarts. They're free. We do lose the ball, but that's, the cost of learning. So now we got a tailwind. Now if we had one of the Pro DX balls, which is like a Zerk and Golf Clash, we would be able to send it further and also just get a little bit better drive. But I do not have one of those, so my best combination of that would be the Mojave. Let's see how the Pro D1 is. So the Pro D1 is just more wind resistance. We don't want to lower the wind, because we want the wind to stay pretty decent for a bigger push. So let's see with a more tailwind if we can drive the green. If I can get this straightened up, there we go. So pretty close to the same drive, 330s, not much of a difference. So for this time we're going to be closer on our club. So what I'm doing here is I'm finding out what is the length of my club. I can't go to max club in the other direction because of the size of the hole. So I'm looking a little closer to mid club. Looks like we got a fairly inconsistent landing space. We landed right about where we were aiming. Pretty good rollout. We just needed a little closer. So go ahead and move on to the second hole. We'll look at our standings and see how many extras we need in order to be able to win this. So there are only 10 people. Looks like minus 22 is leading. And that's with no extras. So if we can do good with our tiebreakers and the no extras, we can take first place. This will be pretty good for our Ultimate Cup standings if we can get first place, because it's an 18 hole. And that's good for tiebreaker points. 8.5. That's again, like I said, I'm doing 70%, or 7 times. Looks like we needed a little more curl or a spin on that one. So our rough iron is the Voodoo 7. That's just not very good for reaching the green since we went rough. But we have plenty of restarts. And we need the tiebreaker points. So it's interesting to see what kind of clubs I will be playing with, hopefully, in the future. Alright, let's try to play this one a little more for real. Going to use a pro trophy here. 3 times 7 is 2.1. So without the lower wind push, we're about 10 yards shorter, but we'll have a better speed or wind for the chip, since we weren't going to drive the green anyway. About 70% club. So in the app, you can't put your clubs from A2 to A4. So if you click in the bag setup, if you click on the little banner, where it says 2, it allows you to choose 1 through 8. Let me know if that works for you, John Bell. Just a bit outside. Not bad though. Would have been good to drop that since we switched to a better ball. So like I said, you go to the club that you want, tap on the little banner where the number is, and choose the new number that you want. Alright, this time we stay in the fairway. We should be using the Hellfire, but I don't know. Yeah, Hellfire. And Hellfire 7. I'm going to adjust 1 to 1. Okay, now that I have my line, I'm going to pull off some of that top. So let's see how strong this guide is. Not bad, a little long. You should be able to do it on an iPhone 12 Max. If I had the app on this, I would switch and show it to you, but I don't have the app on this. I have the app on my iPhone, and it's an 11. So now we get to see this rattler. I'm not sure what the ball guide view is on this. So we're near min. So I'm going to use max back. I'm going to push it up pretty close, because I think this is going to backspin on this green. And I'm going to do 1 to 1. So there's 4. There's 7.5. An iPhone 7. I believe the app should run off of an iPhone 7. I mean, I haven't really tested what the app runs on. So it looks like you need a little more than 1 to 1 on that. Pulled my finger off the screen. Gotta be careful with that. We just wasted some balls. And that's the nice thing about the replays. I mean, yes, I wasted balls, but, you know, a simple little technical issue where I pull my finger off the screen, not paying attention. I'm not really, you know, destroying the entire tournament. Now, I'll be back and streaming tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern. There's a VIP showdown with Jared A. and Duff, and we're going to try to join it and play against them. So if you guys would like to join and watch and root on whoever you want to root on, should be pretty fun. Alright, so about 55%. So I'm going to go 5.4. When you hit the banner, it just comes up with all the clubs. Inside of the, so go to bag setup. Have you been to, so first you need to go to the home menu and go to bag setup. And we got a better speed that time. Just didn't take it into account enough, the curl and the green. But we were under a foot away. Dead length. Alright, so are you in bag setup now? So whatever club you want to change the number to, you should have a club, and there should be a little number banner in the bottom left hand corner of that club. If you tap that number banner, it should let you change the number. And it's under bag setup. Yeah, if you're inside of the win calculator, it'll bring up the clubs that are in your bags. You have to go to bag setup. Let me check the Play Store and see if they have it in here. Oh, you got it? Okay. I'm not going to worry about it. Glad you got it. So we got 351 this time. Let's see if we can put that Hellfire on the green. No, but we can pretty close. Now last time, from this distance, I believe we had 3 top on there, and it went really long. So we got a headwind. I'm going to stick with 2 top. And let's see. Let's go 6.6. See how that looks. So there's 4. 6.6. Let's add just a little bit more top because of the amount of headwind. Thanks, Ophir. And let's see if we can get a little closer this time than last time. So we landed, looked like a little right of where we were aiming, but our speed was good. You know, we were pretty level with the tee. We just didn't land as far left as we planned. It's not the best as far as tiebreakers go. But new clubs have a learning curve. For the app Ophir, yes, the iPhone has the same stuff as the iPad for the app. I've looked at it on both. Yeah, it has the slider on the right side and the elevation on the left side. Alright, so last time on this, we didn't adjust enough when we did a 1-to-1, I believe, from min. So we're no longer at min. That looks about mid. So we're going to do a little bit more this time. It didn't really spin back a whole lot. Let's do 9 rings. Yes, the one that you slide from the right side is the slider percentage. And then the left side is the elevation adjustment. So that time we spun back and we still needed more. So we needed to adjust that closer to max numbers. Alright, so there's the minimum for the biggest. There's the max. The hole is at 50. So I'm going to say 35 at our landing spot. So let's go 1 to 1. This is a crosswind, so I'm going to set up 2 rings out. See how that rolls with max back. Now let's see if I can get this guide lined up. Okay, so 6.7. So there's 4. There's 6. 0.5. 0.7. No, I didn't see it used on Golf Clash. I use Notebook on Golf Clash now. I didn't used to. Oh, the iPhone 14 is going to have a slide screen. Interesting. Now I'm using the Galaxy S7 Plus. I used to use my iPhone to play. I used an iPad to play. And I just switched because I got a really good deal. Alright, so there's the max. 1 to 1 wasn't enough before. At about this distance. So let's increase, say 20%. What we would be adjusting. So let's go 8.4 and see how that comes in. Or let's just go 8. It'd be a lot easier. And see how that comes in. So that came in really good. Just barely over adjusted. So this is a really long par 4. Should put us in hellfire range. So we got a headwind. We're going to be at min. Yeah, let's see how many rings we're going to need to push back on this. So 3 rings push back after we adjust. So we'll adjust this 1 to 1, which will be 7.4. And then we will push back 3 rings. And we'll see how that comes in. Trying to make sure. Oh, I just messed up. So let's readjust that. Gotta be careful when you're double tapping on your screen to move things around, because you can easily move the target if you tap on the target. Okay, there we go. Luckily, no timer. I have all the time in the world to adjust. Just reset it right at the hole. If we were just a fraction over, that would have dunked. So it needed 2 more rings pushed back. It takes a little getting used to on the adjustment. But we adjusted correctly there because the 3 rings came to where center ball guide was. So we hit right at where center was. I should have done another 2 rings. But yeah, it definitely takes more time getting used to the adjustment. They're not as smooth of a movement. But at least you have time to make it. I'm gonna go 6.2. I ended up with a different club. I didn't see it switch over to the Pegasus. So I had the wrong adjustment in. It's a headwind, so I'm gonna go 1.5 rings. There we go. We're gonna go 7.8. So in headwind, we need about 1.4 rings from center target with max back. And I needed about a 5% over adjustment. Alright, so we got a par 5. You have to be careful on this one because it will run up into those bunkers. So I'm going to use curl. Try to keep it just, you know, on the left side. Because the last thing we want is to end up in those bunkers. There we go. We stay nice in center fairway. I could have overpowered it more, but it's not like we're going to drive the green. So as long as we stayed within the range of our club, and with the top spin that this one has, I wasn't worried about that. We also have a tailwind. Hopefully we don't overdrive the green, but we were pretty far back. That'll be a good tiebreaker. A little bit more on the adjustment. We had a chance for the albatross. Okay, so we have the headwind on the rattler again. Let's see how close we are. So there's max, there's min. So I'm gonna say 50%. Okay, so we did 8.8 there. We need a little bit more, maybe about 10% more. So that was about 10% over adjustment at the wind on the mid. So maybe try 20% next time. So 8,900 on the front nine. Not the best tiebreaker, but if we can repeat it, we should be able to move into first by tiebreaker. So this is a par 5. Luckily, this is a little bit more accurate of a club than I'm used to, so the grate didn't really hurt. So again, we're going to have to go with max top. Let's pull one off the top. I think max will go past. There we go. And this is going to be really close, so we need a good adjustment. So let's see how accurate our adjustment is. Right where we were aiming. Rolled up just a little left of what we were aiming. So pull a little more off the top. But the key was we hit our aim spot, and our secondary wind pushed us further left. So we probably could have given it a little bit more side spin to cover that secondary or curl. You know, there's a bit more secondary wind push on the ball here in this game. As you can see, we struck our landing spot, but our second and third bounces were further higher and left than what the guide showed due to secondary wind push. May run rough on this one. Let's see if it curls and turns enough. Nope. Should still be able to reach with the voodoo. It was worth a shot. That didn't roll up at all. Just kind of died there. Okay, we got par 3 coming up next. Alright, so we got our Pegasus. Let's see where we are at in the guide here. We got a headwind, and we're at max. No, gonna be in that situation of where we need to push back again. Alright, so we are what do we need? 1, 2, 3, 4 rings of pushback after adjustment. Now let's make sure we're in line with the pin here. It's pretty close. 6.9 at min is going to be 6.9, and then we're going to push back 4 rings. So there's 4, 5, 6.9. Straighten up our ball guide here. I said 4 rings. So there's our 4 rings. Let's see how we did. Looks like we needed a little bit more. That got a good bounce out. Oh wait, I forgot to set my max back. So that's why we got a good bounce out. When it switched down to the Rattler, it switched my spins. A couple poor tiebreakers there. We need to have a couple good ones, or drop an extra. See, that's the hard part about this Abu Dhabi course, is you have these curves in the fairway, and they're right in your shot. And if you're not careful, you'll roll into the rough with them. Alright, so let's go with this max hive. It's a headwind, so we're going to go a little bit more than a square. Let's see how much. So not much curve in the green. So let's try to line up our ball guide with the hole. It's going to be a lot of adjustment. So very easy to make a mistake with this. 13.6 rings. We missed adjusted. Max would have been 15.4. So maybe we were a little closer to max than I gave credit for. Still wouldn't have dropped it, but it would have been a lot closer with a perfect shot. Definitely not getting them as close as I'm used to with these other clubs. So that's about medium distance. So I'm going to go 10% extra. So I'll do 8.3. I'm going to go 1.8 rings. There's 4. 8. 5.3. So we need to be about 1.5 rings and about another half a ring on adjustment. We need to get pretty close on these next couple if we want to have a chance at that first place with the tiebreaker. So they're at 16.6 and we're at 13.8, so we need about 3,000 tiebreaker points. So you can't just blast this one. And if you look, you're going to go into rough. So I'm not even going to use top here. I'm just going to lay up, get into that Pegasus range, maybe Rattler. And hopefully we can get it close, get an 800 plus tiebreaker. Alright, so we're looking at Min Pegasus this time. If we look, when we hit, there's a little bit of a down spin here. So this will backspin a little bit. So I'm going to leave it at one ring so we get a little long. I'm going to go 6.4. There's 4, 5, 6.4. Well, we hit the pin. Should have underpowered it just a little bit, but we got over 8 on our tiebreaker point. So that helps us out. So now we're at 14.7. So 1900 needed. And one of them's a par 5. So if we can get in the 8s here, that gives us plenty of room for our par 5. Alright, go ahead and send this one. That should put us in wedge range. That looks like we're going to be mid-rattler. So we're going to do 8.5. So we probably still wouldn't have dropped that with an ultimate. Might have hit the pin. But it would have been a little too hot. Just a matter of getting those ball guides down. Alright, last hole. We need at least 1100 points on the tiebreaker, which means we have to be on the green. got a headwind here. So what I'm going to do is swap ball. Let's look at this one. 8% power, more wind resistance. Same curl, so we're going to go with this one. So it looks like we should be in a pretty good position for the next shot. Luckily we switched to a higher wind ball. It's going to put us in the min of Hellfire, which is nice. With a headwind, we should get not much rollout. Gonna need 3 rings. Looks like the Hellfire doesn't have much of a range. So we're at max Hellfire. So we're going to set up down here at mid. And we'll do no spin, or 1 backspin. There we go. And we're going to do 3 rings. So all we're looking for is 1100 tiebreaker or better. And that'll do it. So we didn't drop any extras. We had a few that were close. But we did good enough to currently get first place in our bracket. We got a little bit of cushion there. And like I said, that'll help us for the Ultimate Cup. Let's take a look at the standings of the Ultimate Pass. So we have the person who clearly is a better player, alt account or something, in our bracket again. Drop 6 extras. So there's really no chance at winning this one. Let's see what the reward difference. It's a 1 ball difference in each of the balls between first and second. And we get 30 of the balls we just used. So we can go for second. And again, for those of you who haven't seen it, this is the VIP showdown later tonight. I will be on streaming it. So if you are around today, pop in, watch that. It'll be pretty fun. I'm going to go ahead and sign off for now. Get a little done around the house. I'll probably come back in about an hour or so, maybe 2, and record the next tournament. Thank you guys for hanging out, and I'll see you in a little.